Welcome everybody to Level M Diecast, breaking down a new 9-pack. This is a bit of a conundrum, this 9-pack here. Now you may not recognize this. You'll say, I have not seen that National Parks Ram 9-pack yet. So just quick overview on the story. This was actually supposed to be released with the 70th anniversary field car. The one that came with kind of the white border on the outside was the field car. Those two were supposed to be packaged together. For whatever reason, the field car got pushed into production. That's why some cases ended up having 3 9-packs. You remember when that field car came out, there were 3 different 9-packs to pick up. So this one never made it into the assortment like it was originally planned to. This was available to hobby dealers. Hobby dealers were able to buy a full sealed case quantity. So every model in the mix was this case or this pack. So I'm not really sure if this will hit retail, but if you have a favorite online retailer, I pretty much guarantee that if they already buy 9-packs, they'll be available. You see, this one is kind of themed as well. They are all construction vehicles. And then on top of that, probably one of the only times you'll ever see 2 of the exact same casting in the same package, because that's just not constructive. But we're going to go ahead and crack this open. Of course, everything else in here has been released before. And then, of course, we do have all the original versions that we get to check out and do some comparo as we normally do on the channel. So go ahead and crack this one open, hopefully. Sometimes these are easy to open, sometimes not so easy to open. Kind of set this a little bit to the side because it takes up a lot of space in here. We're going to save the stuff there. All right, so we're just going to go from top to bottom. Yes, we're going to wait to do the actual model until we run through. Of course, this is the Pinstripe King. This is the original version. This one was the original color that it debuted when it was a brand new casting. In 52 is the day code on that one. This one right here, our day code is S20. So the original on the bottom. The prints and everything are the same. The wheels and stuff are the same. Even the shields, where we're always looking at the shields to see if there's differences on them. Those appear to be exactly the same. Gold print and all. So unfortunately nothing there. A lot of fine print on this one. Looks pretty good. I do like this casting. But other than that, there's really no changes to it. A little bit of a shade variation for the interior piece, but pretty minimum. Original one on the left. The shades are pretty close. They're pretty much exact. And then, of course, it's not an old enough casting for any base changes. So no base changes on this guy. So we'll set this one to the side. Our next one up is going to be our skid steer. So these are the 2 previous ones. It's because this deco has already been released once. So if you look on the base here, you see the one on the bottom, C18. This is the original release of this casting, or I'm sorry, of this deco. Very first time that they did this one. The re-release one that we have right here, which is dated K50. This was the re-released for the, I think this came in the Russian one as well. But this was a re-release before that. I didn't pick up the Russian one because there really was no point in picking it up, a third version. But the base changes between the 2 of them is basically just that. Just the finish on the base is different, and of course some print, but that is the difference between the 2 of those. Our newest one right here, which is dated, I didn't even have a date code on there. Interesting. So anyways, it should be S20, but this is the newest version here. Just comparison with the previous one. Again, just the base finish. This one went from a matte finish to a satin finish. So the new one has a satin finish. As far as the deco stuff goes, the wheels are the same. The decos are the same. All that good stuff is the same. Interior window type piece is the same color. So nothing doing on that one. But, you know, the base is a little bit different. So it's not the end of the world. All right, next one we're going to take a look at. This is the tractor plow. This is the original version of this deco. It says 385 tractor plow on the side. There is your base deets. I don't know if this one is stamped or printed or anything. This one might be too old to have a date code on it, which looks like that might be the case. So no date code on this particular one, but this is our newest one here. Tractor plow does have the same deets, but if you'll notice, the new one is way darker gray. Way darker gray. The prints are the same. They do have the same prints on the side, but the gray is completely different. But they do have the same wheels, and of course, the oranges are different as well, which is quite noticeable. There is probably a bunch of base changes as well. The top one is the new one. There is indeed several base changes. It's actually completely different the way it's assembled. You see the original version down here used to be a hook assembly. Now it is a double rivet, just like most vehicles are. Pretty much all of the vehicles are now from Matchbox and Hot Wheels. So that one is basically completely different. I mean, they might as well put a new deco on it. So I'm pretty happy about that. So we'll move that guy out the way. All right, ink construction. Most people would be happy to get another ink construction, but not me. There is the new one. This is your original one, dated in 47. This came in the hitch and tow twin pack, if I remember correctly. This came with the cement mixer as the trailer. This is the tilt and tip. Tips to one side as the dumper, but it doesn't come off or anything like that. It's just average. This is the new one on the top. Differences between the two, the prints aren't going to be anything different. Again, this model only came out just a couple of years ago. See, that is dated in 47. The one is dated S20. So it's just not old enough to be anything different between the two. Prints and stuff are all the same. Both have all the same details, the same clear window. Even the yellows are spot on. So unfortunately, it's not old enough. It's kind of a bummer. I was really hoping that it would have been old enough, but no changes to that guy. All right, as far as the Ram ambulance goes, the Ram flatbed, kind of interesting that they chose to put another one in the pack with the enormous amount of construction vehicles they could have used. This one dated P01, not all that old. I think this may have been the first recolor after this was a new casting, potentially. But there is the deets. The new one is on the top. You see the prints are the same. Unit numbers the same. Assemblies the same. The kind of dull yellow color is the same. The shields are the same. So very, very disappointed in that. The cargo contents, of course, has never changed. They've always been the same. Casting is just not old enough to need any base changes. It's got all the updated information needed. So unfortunately, no changes between the two of those, which is definitely a bummer. I really want to have more changes, but we just can't get more changes. All right, moving on to the road grader. So we've seen this road grader twice. So it looks like this bottom one's dated P10. This top one is dated L32 maybe. So this is the original version of this deco. They did do an exact same deco for the real working rig one, which is kind of cool. These two are significantly different in their yellows. It doesn't really show up on the camera, but I assure you they are significantly different in the finish of their yellows. But as far as the model itself, there's no differences. The prints are the same. It's just, it's just regular. There's really nothing different between them. Now we do get another version, yay, for a third time. So this is the newest one. Of course, this is dated S20. So we can compare this to the most recent one, which was P10. Don't think there'll be any base change differences or anything on it. I think they already changed all that. Which looks like it. It looks like all the prints are the same. So no updates there. As far as the model goes, there you go. The prints, all that is the same deets, all that stuff like that. They use the same wheel, same print. These ones, the yellow looks exactly the same as well. There's a kind of a matte finish to the yellow, by the way, just in case you can't see that. But it's just a bummer. There's nothing different about this one. Matter of fact, I got to double check the base code to make sure I put the new one back where it goes. All right, water hauler. this one is going to be significantly different, I can tell you, just because I know that the base has gone through, or this model's gone through a lot of changes in its assembly. This is the original release for this one. This is E38. Looks like E38. So this is going to be significantly different. This has been many, 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 many years ago. So this is the new one here on the top. You'll see that the new one has the updated casting, which removes a lot of the metal in the back of the casting. This one still has all that metal up in there. The shades of the kind of dull yellowish kind of color are significantly different between the two. This is, of course, the new one here. Details on the tank are going to be all the same. Prints on the tank are the same between the two. See, there's a big difference there. The new one on the right, losing all that metal. And then, of course, base changes are a plenty. Lots and lots of base changes. So, quite different. I was not realizing just how old the original version of this one was. So, that's super, super cool. Very, very happy to get that super updated version of that one. All right, the very last one we have in here for comparo purposes, this is your drill digger. This one is dated, looks like, you can even read the stamp, maybe in H12. H12. So dated H12, does have a little thing on here where you spin it and it rotates. That's as far as it goes, though. You can't actually get it to the ground. It has some up and down movement. It's pretty rudimentary. Of course, this is the new one here. Differences between the two, they do use the same utility wheel. Unfortunately, you can see that the color finish is significantly different. New one is on the top. It is a lot lighter, a lot darker. The original one on the bottom is a lot lighter, but the prints themselves are all the same. MBX drill digger on the side, a little bit of simulated diamond plating, nothing fancy with that. The drill parts, the arm parts, they're all the same colors. Same deets on the other side. As far as the base goes, I don't know if there'll be any changes. The original one on the bottom looks like there is no changes to the base, but the colors are significantly different. Significantly different between the two of them. So that's definitely a plus win for sure. All right, moving on to the last model in the mix, of course, is the exclusive, which just doesn't want to come out of the package. There we go. Sorry about all the plastic noise. So this guy is a brand new deco, and of course it is exclusive to this 9-pack in the national parks. There's kind of there's two versions of national parks, so this isn't like the normal national parks, the other version, which is still pretty good. This is unit number 33. It does have a Hemi in there. It says Hemi on the side. Search and rescue maintenance. There is no interior on this model, which is fine. It doesn't need an interior, but it's never had an interior. Kind of an interesting way to build it. S20, there is your base deets for the Ram Flatbed in national parks. So that guy looks pretty good. I like this version a lot. It's definitely nice to get another exclusive one, regardless of what it is. But, whoop. Sorry about that. This guy just wanted to just completely take off on us. Kind of a rookie thing to drop it off of the table. But anyways, if you guys want to pick this up, you're definitely going to have to go to an online retailer for now. Somebody like Village Diecast or somebody like that. Just to pick this up, because I don't know if it's going to show up at retail. But if it does show up at retail, it'd be nice for everybody, because then you could just pick it up at retail. But I don't think this is going to show up at retail. So if you want this model, you're going to have to buy it online. But I recommend it because it's a really, really nice model. And if you are a completionist for national parks, you're going to need it. You're going to need it for sure. So on that note, we're going to roll out. Appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. We'll catch you next time. Leveling.cast. Peace.